Hi, 12-year-old reporter, broadcaster, and author Pepper Persley back. As an introduction, you may know me as the girl who covers the WNBA, or for my work with ESPN, for my podcast Dish with Pepper, or for my new book, Not Do Anything. The project that I'm most excited about and most proud of is my children's book that I wrote, Not Do Anything, which focuses on my story about overcoming bullying, the importance of anti-bullying, and how I became the sports journalist I am today. So please check it out. My story of becoming a reporter and broadcaster started at a very young age just because of all the questions I asked about everything, but specifically about sports and women's sports. My parents did a great job of having me be aware of women's sports, the fact that they existed, taking me to games. But when I sort of realized that they weren't as focused on and weren't as watched and paid attention to as I, as a little girl, would have hoped, I wanted to do something about it. And that's how my career started. I've always wanted to highlight the people who inspire me and bring a smile to people's faces. One of my biggest mentors and inspirations is Maggie McPeak, or Big Sis, as I like to call her. She works in broadcasting for the Washington Mystics and the Washington Wizards, and that's where I actually first met her. I was working on an anti-bullying project, and she overheard me interviewing, and she wanted to have me on the broadcast the next day for the Washington Mystics. And ever since then, she's been incredibly supportive of my work. I've always felt like I was able to reach out to her. I've had her on my podcast multiple times, and every time I see her, it's just amazing. And I'm always grateful that she encouraged me and had me kind of experience my first time being on a sports broadcast. And since then, I've loved this work and loved my relationship with her. My biggest advice for anybody who wants to enter the sports reporting, broadcasting, journalism, writing field in general is just to believe in yourself. Especially for me as a kid, there were a lot of people who said no to me, and a lot of yeses as well. And I think it's really important to focus on the positives, to be yourself, to trust yourself, and also to surround yourself with people who support you. In my book, I talk about kind of going through bullying and how hard that was for me, but one of the messages that is through and through in the book is how important it is to have mentors and family members and friends who support you, and that's a message that I would like to send. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you to Etre for giving me another opportunity to share my story and share my book.